This was gigantic. This is the first time a drag queen has ever been put on the
A
cover of...
drag queen? A drag queen? I am the queen of drag.
RuPaul Drag Race. Start your engine. RuPaul Drag Race. Be the best woman win. RuPaul Drag Race. Start your engine. RuPaul Drag Race. Be the best woman. Best woman.
Hello and welcome to How to Be an Icon. I'm Jarred Jones. I'm joined, as always, by Donna Cameron. How the devil are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm doing real good. It's a lovely day.
It's very warm. It's currently, I think, the warmest day of the year so far.
You can tell things are heating up. Jared tried to fight our neighbor. No.
I did not try and fight our neighbour. Our neighbour decided that at 12:30 today that they'd put a barbecue on while I had washing out,
And they knew.
And they knew, which is annoying. But the other annoying thing is that whenever we've had a barbecue, they make such a
They're
fuss
so
about it.
passive aggressive.
They're so passive aggressive. They love opening and closing the back door, being like, unacceptable. You know what?
Not iconic.
Not iconic. You didn't even ask. That's the bit that pisses me off most. They make such a fuss every time.
Welcome to the show, everyone.
Yeah,
This
welcome
is
to
How
the
to Be an
show.
Icon.
Yeah, How to Be an Icon. If you haven't already, please.
Things are heating up.
They sure are. Follow us on Spotify podcasts or Apple Podcasts. You can also follow us on X, Instagram. We are on YouTube, How to Be an Icon. You can also subscribe to our Patreon, where we're going to be doing every episode now. We're going to have a little post show at the end. So a little 10 minutes just after we've recorded. You know, depending on how we're feeling and what we've got left to do in the day, we may even have a cheeky bev while we do it. But
we might enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, we might.
It's you got invited backstage after the show to hang out with the band for a bit,
Yeah,
and it's in like a fun, cool way, not in a legally weird way.
Exactly. No, it's really cool and it's really great. And our Patreon is free, so if you want to head on over there and subscribe, that would be awesome. But obviously, this is How to Be an Icon, where we go through and discuss iconic people and what you can learn from them. This week, we have...
I'm not taking the reins. I'm taking the wheel, Jared.
Oh, okay. Neep, neep.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. It's How to Be an Icon. And we're talking about RuPaul.
I really like RuPaul. I don't particularly enjoy Drag Race that much.
I'm really glad you said it first. So, to preface this right up top, this is not going to be a podcast about RuPaul's Drag Race.
No.
Because I don't love it.
There are so many podcasts that you can listen to that come out at the time, things that look back on it retrospectively. There are so many podcasts that you can listen to.
Billions of hours of people going through every single detail of that.
Every single frame of that show has been analyzed to death. And, you know, me personally, I've watched a couple seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. I've watched the UK one, the first one that they did. I can't remember I've watched a season or two. And yeah, I think RuPaul's Drag Race is like just very watchable, but also it's too long and there's too much of it.
I will get onto my thoughts and experiences with it later.
Yes. But RuPaul himself, I think
He's super interesting.
he's a very interesting person, and I think definitely worth discussing more about the status of being an icon.
Well, as always, Jared, we got to start with the important one. What's RuPaul's favorite drink?
That's a great question. What do I think his favorite drink is? Probably something fruity, you know. I'm gonna say either a Sex on the Beach or a porn star martini.
That's very fun. It's a really disappointing one. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Because it's like the Katy Perry one. His favorite drink is his own brand of canned cocktails called House of Love, which I don't think is available anymore because their Instagram stopped uploading 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's probably that's probably fair. But yeah, dude, celebrities with their, really grinds my gears. Celebrities, you don't need to have a beverage brand, you know?
Whoa, Jared, How to Be an Icon hard seltzer.
Yeah, but that's because we're icons.
We're introducing the UK to the big cans.
Oh, the big cans of hard seltzer. Yeah, that's fine and well.
The other one I can definitely posit is because for today's episode, I used as a reference RuPaul's book, The House of Hidden Meaning, his 2024 memoir. There's a big chunk of that in the same way that Tom Cruise's favorite drink is not alcohol.
Yeah.
For a large period, RuPaul's favorite drink was alcohol.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Just
okay.
Comma general. So
Good stuff.
you can find some very old interviews of him where he is hammered.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
They're pretty fun. They're pretty messy because you go, God, MTV used to be great. But RuPaul, which is his real name.
Which I was very surprised at. I thought
it was a stage name.
I thought it was a stage name as well. But
no, it is his real name. His mother gave him the name Ru, from the French cooking preparation of flour and fat, commonly used in Creole cuisine because they're in Louisiana.
I mean, it makes sense. Like,
While she was pregnant, she visited a psychic who said she was going to have a son and that son was going to be famous. And she's like, right, awesome. What do I name this kid? RuPaul.
it's a good one, to be fair.
Quote, because ain't another motherfucker with a name like that. So, just so that's kind of fun.
I mean, that is kind of fun.
But yeah, he is the one of 4 children to Tony and Irving Andrew Charles.
Nice.
I wrote in my notes here that sure is the name of a guy who cheats on his wife.
Does that come up a lot?
Yeah, he does. RuPaul's dad cheated on him all the way through.
Sorry, to go back to the Rue thing. If you had to have your name Donna, but a cooking preparation...
Mirepoix Donna.
No, perfect. Perfect. Please continue.
Yeah. I had that so in the barrel ready to... His parents' marriage was soap opera levels of bad.
Yeah.
His father was cheating all over the place. His mother threatened to set fire to the car while everyone watched. And it was just a bad relationship breakdown, absolute disaster. And in this, RuPaul started to do little skits and performances to cheer his mum up.
Oh.
And he talks about it quite sweetly, but there is a way of reading it that's absolutely harrowing.
I bet.
But he talks about this in his book, and it's this thing that he kind of goes through his entire career as he's performing. Before he goes on stage or performing films, he has this mantra of your mom's gonna love what you're gonna do.
Oh.
And he just has this he wanted to make his mum laugh, and he extends that further to people. That is what motivates him to perform, which is so lovely.
That's a very sweet. Yeah, that's very nice.
It's from a very joyful place. And the other one that he has is performance is power.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's something I was thinking about a lot of there are some of these icons that we've looked at that really embody that Oscar Wilde, Madonna, Tom Cruise, Miss Piggy, and even Anthony Bourdain kind of understands the character and the brand and the mission statement of it, of you can't just be the person, you have to be the everything.
Yes, absolutely.
And yeah, he got into this really, really early on. He kind of tapped into these quite quickly. After his parents divorced eventually in 1967, he moved in with his 3 sisters and attended, I'm going to use really big air quotes for the listener, Patrick Henry High School. He didn't go to school, he skipped class and got stoned.
Nice, good stuff.
Oh, and read the newspaper. His sister got him a subscription to the local paper. So he is well read and intelligent.
But not academic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
This is one of many weird similarities between me and RuPaul, because I also used to skip school to smoke cigarettes and read books. He's also obsessed with television. He watches so much TV. And I think that really informs his like performance style as well.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
At age 15, he moves with his sister Renetta to Atlanta to go to a performing arts school. And this is because he failed high school so badly that they wouldn't let him return. but the alternate high school was just a bad school. It was like very well known for that like school to prison pipeline.
Yeah.
And he, as like a young black guy, kind of put the pieces together. Went, no, we're not doing this. And I think that performing arts school kind of really saved him because he was black and gay at like the second worst time to do that.
It's not great. Yeah.
Atlanta at the time is sort of like New York for the Black South.
Yeah. There's like, you get a lot of, like a bit later on, you get a lot of, rap music coming from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of that coming from there. So yeah, it's got quite a like cultural.
Yeah, it has a lot of queer artists, it has a lot of black artists. It's also like a big hub for drag performers from like Florida and nearby places.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense.
It was a lot more progressive than a lot of the areas around him as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It was also the first state to have a black mayor, I believe.
Oh, there we go. Shout out to Atlanta, Georgia.
Someone can double check me on that one. I could be incorrect, but it's something like that. He is, at this time, though, kind of struggling to find his place in the gay scene.
Yeah.
When you're like 17, 18, you're trying to like figure out your sexuality. And he finds a lot of the like gay bars and spaces really uncomfortable. He goes to like this real like Tom Finland, and I can't tell you how many times I accidentally wrote Tom Holland whilst writing this script. So many of my notes I had to delete.
That's a very different gay bar.
And it's because my idiot brain goes, they are both countries, therefore they are the same.
They're both countries in Europe, so yeah, that's...
But yeah, a Tom Finland bar, which if you're not aware of is bears.
Yeah.
Big mustaches and leather jackets and...
I think of that guy from The Village People, the one who dresses a biker with a big mustache.
Yes,
That's it. That's the...
And he goes and just does not like it. And he spends a really long time trying to figure out where to go.
Mm-hmm.
And there is like this really interesting kind of internal conflict of what do you do when you're gay and you don't fit in the gay scene?
I guess you turn to drag, I suppose.
Well, this is a little bit of like a thought I was having of like the issue of being the other of the other.
Mm.
And I think, again, it kind of connects him a little bit to Oscar Wilde because Oscar Wilde's like big and tall and not the dudes that he likes.
Yeah.
I think the motivations are different
Yeah.
because RuPaul's is to be famous and Oscar Wilde is to blow dudes and be famous.
Being famous made it easier to blow dudes.
Exactly. Like whereas RuPaul just wants to be famous.
Yeah. And if he blows dudes along the way, hey, what a bonus,
But like
it's not the end
dude
goal.
blowing's a little bit more incidental, and you can read about that in his book.
Yeah, it's the side quest, but like it's on the path,
When you're feeling outside of the group, I'm trying to make an intelligent point.
Sorry, I'm really ruining your intelligent point, but yes.
No, I think it's this idea of when you don't fit in when you're already an outsider and you don't fit in the outside group.
Yeah.
You become the group.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing we see with RuPaul of just going, none of these spaces feel right for either my performance style, because he didn't really like a lot of the humor in drag at the time. It was very blue.
Mm-hmm.
And he also didn't really like the gay scene. So he kind of stepped above and made his own thing.
Yeah. He has, I'm sure we'll get onto it later, but his style of drag is very much his own thing. And he has absolutely influenced the entire scene of, of drag culture.
While he is attending this performing arts school, it is the first time he appears in drag. He plays a drag queen in a Tennessee Williams play.
Fun.
And the story's quite sweet, that he's more nervous about being on stage than he is about dressing as a woman. So he's like, I don't really care, because a lot of people mistook him for a girl as a kid.
Oh, really?
Well, because if you think about it, he's so tall, he's so thin.
Yeah.
Like, he's very, statuesque.
And RuPaul is not a particularly masculine name. I could see why someone would mistake that for a,
right?
Ru is, a feminine name,
Yeah, exactly. So it's not and he never really had a problem with that. It was just a thing that's kind of always happened. So he Gets on stage though and loves it. You know, like everyone has that thing of they do their first performance and then they're hooked and it's the show. He starts doing other performances, being in plays, just kind of being in anything he can be.
Yeah.
And forming bands.
Mm-hmm.
He has this like just make stuff. So he starts writing and publishing magazines. He's like a backup dancer. He's lip syncing. He tries to do stand-up comedy. Like there's so many of them. And he started appearing on a public access TV show called The American Music Show. I love public access. I think it's such a beautiful thing that we've lost to the internet.
If we didn't have like a podcast, if we were in the 90s, we would have a public access show. That
it would be on at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And it would just be us doing this.
Yes, it would.
He wrote to the show to ask to be on it. And they were like, oh my God, yeah, absolutely, would love you. Later finds out that he is the first person to ever write to the show to ask to be on it. So he thought he got like this amazing opportunity. And the show's going, oh my God, this amazing opportunity. Which is adorable. And yeah, he starts like showing up and like being on television and presenting.
Yeah.
He also has a bunch of bands, all of which have awful names. We have RuPaul and the U-Hauls.
That sounds like an improv comedy group.
Right? And the one that I hate because he kept having to say it, Wee Wee Pole.
Okay. Well,
You know.
You know. I don't like that blue drag humor. Anyway, here's my band Wee Wee Pole.
Yeah, right. He's also making like low budget cinema. He's making like weird blaxploitation films called Star Booty.
That's fun.
I know.
That is fun.
I love the name Star Booty. And he's so good at branding himself.
Mm-hmm.
From like really early on, there is a story where he goes to New York and he sees like the working girl cards all over the place. And he like asks someone like, you know, why do you do this? And they explain advertising's everything. So he returns to Atlanta and starts making posters of himself that say RuPaul is everything.
Beautiful. That's good.
He's just advertising the concept of himself.
Yeah.
Which is so smart in like the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah.
The other very self-indulgent thing that him and I have in common, just love taking little walks.
You do love a little walk. That is your favorite thing. Does RuPaul also go walk for an hour to buy bread, or is that like...
No, he usually did it to buy drugs, but like...
I mean, that's like, it's a different kind of bread, like...
Getting that money. But like, he, as a kid, would just get on the bus, get off at random stops, walk around, and then go home.
Nice.
In New York, he would just kind of pick a direction and like...
Just go. Yeah.
Walk and starts to like get to know other performers. He starts talking to sex workers and pimps, what he calls interesting people.
I mean, that's one way to put it. They are interesting people.
He's also working as a go-go dancer in like bars such as the Pyramid.
Yeah.
And we're moving into like the late 80s, early 90s as part of like the club kids scene.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That like post Andy Warhol, very cool.
Yeah.
Everyone's on a lot of drugs.
Great time to be alive, In an ongoing thing of this series of, man, isn't New York both the best and worst place that you could ever be in the 70s and 80s?
And then the 90s.
And then the 90s.
And then the 2000s.
I mean, it cleans up in the 90s. Like, that's when it starts to, like, get cleaner.
But yeah, there's bits of him, like, talking about walking around Brooklyn, and which is now so bonkers.
Yeah.
To be like, Brooklyn.
We had a lot of that watching Sex and the City where Miranda has to move to Brooklyn and they're like, oh my God, Brooklyn? Why would you want to live there? Disgusting. Knowing that she bought like a full-on townhouse for like absolute peanuts and then
with a garden.
With a garden and like, 3 stories. And they're there like, oh, this dump in Brooklyn.
Well, I guess around this time, RuPaul is wearing a cowboy hat and tiny little denim shorts.
Yeah.
Just interviewing people.
That's fun.
But he's so prominent. He is hosting club nights. He even He explains what it is in the book, and I don't really understand. He won an award for being a club kid.
Okay.
And I just got, did you just win an award for being good at parties?
That just sounds a little bit like, made up awards that you have at like your Christmas office Christmas party of being like, oh, an award for person who makes the most cups of tea. It's Pete, it's like things like that. Like,
Well, because I know in the gay scene, they'll have like Mr. Leatherman. Mr. Leatherman.
Mr. Leatherman.
It's like Mr. Leather Daddy or something. And you are like a representative of that community. But it doesn't quite work when it's just doing drugs and vibes.
Hey, there's an award, an award for anything.
That's true. He is basically homeless at this time, though. He is kind of either sleeping on friends' sofas or at one point on a bench. He makes like a really deliberate decision to go back to Atlanta because you don't want to be homeless in New York in the winter.
That makes sense.
So his career is like moving up, but he's kind of not.
Yeah.
And it starts to slowly improve and get better over time when we hit 1993 and he records Supermodel.
Ah, that's a great song. It's the only RuPaul song that I've ever like actively listened to,
I had to make a decision with what I was willing to tolerate in researching this.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Drag Race. I did not listen to any of his albums. I had to pick one.
That is a completely fair and respectable decision.
There's only so much time, and I can only deal with so much.
Supermodel is the best that it gets because the rest of
It's fun.
is more electro, gay pop.
Yeah.
Like, and depending on what your tolerance for that is, I don't know what your like barometer for that is.
I did listen to it at the gym.
A Supermodel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Like that's like a regular good, like that's a good pop song.
But it starts.
It starts to head into like Euro trash. Like, that's the closest thing I could say to it.
I did see a great MTV interview with him where the tiny woman that was presenting takes him to the Mall of America. He's in full drag. He's like 9 foot tall. Like he's so big. He's like comically tall.
Well, he's 6'5" regularly
in flats. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like 7 foot in heels sometimes. And it is part of the thing. He knows he's doing it very deliberately. But he reminds me of that picture of Peter Crouch playing golf. Like there's just, he's so long.
He's so long. Like
And he is like blasting through the Mall of America, pretending to buy his own cassette, repeatedly shouting, "You better work," in this very like say the line bar. By the end of it, you can see he's bored of saying it. He keeps doing. He keeps just like walking up to white families and like
you
screaming
better
it
work.
but like shouting at them.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
In 1994, he released a version of Don't Go Breaking My Heart with Elton John. And I, while researching this, thought space and time had broken because I was like, no, that's not RuPaul in that song.
It's not. It's a cover.
I did not. I was sat here earlier researching this, and I don't know if you saw me being very stressed, but that's me going, wait,
what?
No, RuPaul's not in that song. That's a woman. But he is releasing so much music.
Mm-hmm.
And a few years later, I think this is the big like turning point in his career.
Okay.
Is when he signs with MAC Cosmetics to do the modeling gig. Because that campaign is incredible. For 1995, to have a drag queen on like Times Square billboards is huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also a really fun one because I learned this. I didn't know this before. MAC was founded by 2 gay men.
Oh,
which would make sense.
Were they both called Mac?
No, they weren't.
Ah, boo.
I know, but no, this is so big. The I'm a MAC girl campaign because we are still not deep in the AIDS epidemic, but we might as well be in 1995. Like it's still ravaging through that community.
Yeah, it's still going on. It's kind of, it's not at its like, I guess peak would be. I don't know whether that's the right thing to say, but it's not at like, people are a lot more aware of it now.
Yes.
There's a lot more like kind of safety around it. And I think some of the sort of early sort of preventative measures were
starting
to sort of filter through at this sort of time.
But it was still in the midst of like rampant homophobia.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
100%. Yeah.
it's really interesting because we talked about homophobia in our Katy Perry episode.
Yeah.
Homophobia in the 2000s is so different from homophobia in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Even though they're only like 10 years apart. And like, I don't know what the difference is.
I mean, I think it's the thing of like AIDS is so at the forefront.
And it's so vicious
Yeah.
as well. It's not to say that homophobia in the early 2000s wasn't, but it was a bit more like, you're gay.
That was homophobia in the 2000s, yeah.
It's not people firing you from your job or like having your house burned down
Yeah,
and
exactly,
things like that.
you know,
It's still like, not to say that didn't happen in the 2000s, but it's not nice.
No.
So this campaign is so big and like really pushes his like image and brand to the front and really establishes like what RuPaul is.
Yeah.
He looks amazing.
Yeah, I've seen some of those like very early 90s like RuPaul where just so made up and like the big red lipstick.
I have it in front of me.
Oh, okay. Just like
Look at him.
like goddamn. She is quote slay, I believe the kids say.
Yes.
Yeah.
I shouldn't.
She left no crumbs.
She's serving.
She is serving.
She's serving.
What's she serving? What's she serving, Nintendo? Serving what, Nintendo?
Huh? Go on, say it.
Say it.
We all know you're thinking it. This campaign, though, brought so much attention onto himself that he started the RuPaul show on VH1
Yes.
in 1996, which, again, is so messy.
Yeah,
it's delightful.
We just used to give people TV shows and go, just do it. Like,
Just make
see
something.
what's the worst that can happen.
The guest list for this show is so fun.
Yeah.
Guests included
Oh, go on.
Cher, Diana Ross, Nirvana, Duran Duran, Pat Benatar, Cyndi Lauper, Olivia Newton-John, Pete Burns, and the Backstreet Boys.
Nice. Do you know, it's really fun because like back in the like 90s, you just used to have these sort of things. We watched a clip yesterday on YouTube of it was like British television out of context.
Yeah.
You know, one of those like things that gets dumped on there. And there was RuPaul and Emu and Snoop Dogg on the same couch together.
There was one with Jonathan Ross. It was Sarah Jessica Parker.
It was Joan Rivers,
Oh, yeah.
Sarah Jessica Parker, and Jedward. Like,
It was Jedward. It's like, why in any other version of reality do these three people end up in the same physical space having a conversation with each other?
as we know, Jedward are one person.
They're an entity.
They are an entity,
I think
yeah.
legally they count as one.
Yeah.
They do only have one passport. He's also, again, still releasing music, including a Christmas album called Ho Ho Ho.
Beautiful.
I am going to put it on at Christmas.
Yeah, can't wait.
Because Christmas albums are limited, as
Yeah.
we know. And he is just producing as much as humanly possible. It is that, like, just make stuff still. And then we get the really big one. In 2009, on February 2nd, the first episode of RuPaul's Drag Race aired.
Yeah.
But before we do that, Jared, I'd like to open the library.
Oh, no. So, for those of you who don't know anything about Drag Race, they have a segment on the show every year. It's normally not the main challenge, where the queens have to, quote, read each other.
Would you like to explain to our straight listeners what reading is?
Reading is where you say the worst thing possible to someone, and they go, ha, 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 oh, thanks.
It's a thing drag queens are allowed to do, and people should not do to drag queens.
Yeah, people do not do that to a drag queen. They're allowed to do it to you. You're not allowed to do it to
It's
them.
part of the bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is, to my understanding, it's even worse than roasting. It's just insulting.
Yeah, it's just
people.
insulting people directly to their face, you know.
See, I'm not going to do that, Jared, because I actually really love working with you. I
Okay.
think you're an amazing host, and I am always genuinely impressed by your ability to write your entire script using only emojis.
Yep. Thank you.
I I'm not joking though. Like, you are stupid because your recording setup says Fisher Price on it.
It does. My silly little sound box.
And actually, really, really fun fact. I didn't know this. I learned this while I was preparing for this. Vaginal fluid's surprisingly high in sugars. And the reason I found that out is because you are the only man to eat so much pussy he made himself diabetic.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
Balls in your court.
Beautiful read there.
I fell asleep thinking about this last night. I was lying in bed, and as I'm going to sleep, I'm like, what? What do I say?
Yeah. Well, you know, Donna, we are doing an episode on RuPaul's Drag Race, and, you know, drag queens, they got to get their drag names. So normally what they do is something about, like, their sort of, like, hobbies, maybe, their interests, and maybe just a little bit about themselves. So your drag name is Weed Butter because you're fat and you smoke so much weed. Now, for our listeners who don't know what Donna looks like, you're the lucky ones. So, but you could describe her as having Betty Davis eyes. No, sorry, Betty Crocker eyes.
That joke's funny because I'm fat.
How would I describe Donna's style? So imagine if Eddie from Ab Fab actually worked for Sports Direct rather than a fashion magazine. You know, think Cat Slater mixed with the Rizzler, and then you'll kind of get like a good idea of what we're sort of working with. Oh. Donna Cameron is so stupid.
How stupid is she?
Oh no, that was it.
The library is now closed, and That was wonderful. Do you have any more?
No, that's it.
That was fantastic.
It was really funny because, do you know what? I'll save this for the post show, actually.
Okay, we can do that. So, as we've mentioned, I've not really watched Drag Race. I'm sorry. All right, I know this is going to affect everything. I know
it's like such a different brand of reality television that we are like kind of attuned to. You know, like it's. I think it is entertaining. I think there are definitely my thing with it.
You have a much higher tolerance.
I have a much higher tolerance for it, and I also have a little bit of the thing of, and I will say, I don't the challenges is what I care about. Mm-hmm. The result. I don't necessarily care about the like. The workroom stuff. I don't really care about that.
Oh, man, I find all of that really unwatchable.
Yeah.
So I will preface this by saying that I am part of the problem here. Mm-hmm. As you've witnessed, I like my reality television to be harrowing. Like,
Below Decks is not harrowing.
It can be.
It can be.
That one guy having a phone party by himself.
That's true. Jeff Bezos.
Watching Captain Lee have dinner after his son died. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
You know, I need there to be a level of human tragedy in my reality television because I'm a horrible person. Drag Race is a bit too produced for me. I am able to suspend my disbelief in reality television. I don't need you doing that. Well, all of it's fake and scripted. I know. I watch wrestling. Drag Race really clearly for me, you can tell that people have redone takes of interviews.
Yeah.
And it's one of the worst examples I've seen in some time, and I can't really deal with it. Also, I don't love this style of drag.
It's controversial.
I am from Blackpool.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen someone lip syncing to It's Raining Men more times than I've seen my own mother's face. Like, I get it. It's just not for me. I'm very fatigued on, like, that style of drag and that style of performance. I think it's just, I'm over it. I will make an exception for Snatch Game. Because all week I have been... Snatch Game, by the way, is people dressing as celebrities doing a fake game show.
Yeah.
And the one...
It's the match game.
It's where she's... I think it's Jinx Monsoon is dressed as Judy Garland.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
Oh, God, it cracks me up.
It's
because
great.
I've been going to you all week going, broom.
It's great stuff.
I recommend looking it up. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
My issue with Drag Race is that RuPaul's style of drag is so TV friendly.
Yeah, and I think there's like definitely an element of that of like there's a lot of, sponsorship involved. There's
Yep.
a lot of, there's a lot of money on the line and when it comes to that. Anastasia Beverly Hills like sponsors most of the seasons of it, and there's like a bunch of just watching the UK Drag Race compared to the American one is so quaint because in the US one it's like you win a challenge and you win a bunch of money, or you win a year's supply of makeup or whatever. In the UK one, you get a little badge,
Which is lovely. That's so British of it.
You get a little RuPeter badge,
Which is a funny joke. I really like that pun.
Yeah. But like it's one of those like, there's so much of that on there. There's so much like tied up in it. And I also think as well that RuPaul, like you said, he's not a massive fan of the like blue humor kind of thing as much.
It's
a lot more, and RuPaul as well is very much into like aesthetics. It's very much a looks based thing.
Yes.
For for that style of drag kind of thing, which there is definitely a place for.
And I've seen people talk about this in that like there's certainly a look that he likes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if it's not that, it's a very narrow approach to what drag can be. Like I said, he was so influenced by the TV he watched growing up, which I think really informs his style as performance.
Yeah.
Like you said, you've got sponsors, so you can only push it so far. And my personal preference is it's trying to be transgressive. It's making you believe that it's transgressive when it's actually not really.
Yeah.
It's seeming edgier than it actually is.
Yeah.
And again, I'm the problem in that I have a higher tolerance for that. So a lot of those jokes feel quite wet or quite flat.
Yeah, and the other part to that is like you have said on multiple occasions that one of your favorite drag acts is someone dressed as a twister board singing Memories.
Yeah, that one's incredible. There is also someone who dresses as one of the Blackpool bingo announcers and begins pelleting the front row with sausage rolls. I need my art to be a bit more abstract.
Bit more avant-garde.
I want it to be weirder. I think because if drag is a subject that interests you, by the way, I recommend reading RuPaul's book, The House of Hidden Meaning, because he talks about his philosophy of it in great depth.
Yeah.
And how that changes as he got older and things like that. I think it's that what used to be very like pushing the boundaries was the fact that it was a man dressed as a woman.
Yeah.
That in and of itself was very like, ooh.
That is it's transgressive in like a, that already before
it was
you even,
already a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, Drag Race had such a huge impact culturally.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because I don't like it doesn't mean I'm not impressed by what it did, because you didn't have performers like this on TV in that way before.
No.
Drag acts were kind of cute, and a final one, like we get Lily Salvage on Jonathan Ross to say something and then leave. Like they're never the focus or the forefront of the thing. And that's what Drag Race made them. It's doing the same bits that were done. It's a very old style of drag, in my opinion. I think we're in such an interesting place now culturally that you can just do more fun things with it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a lot more kind of commercial now. It's a lot more accepted now, and that's, I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. I think it's just that, like I say, there's RuPaul's Drag Race has so much sponsorship, so much money, so much like everything riding on it, that it's like you're not going to get as many kind of, and that's not to say that there aren't weird queens that go on there who do.
Yeah, there's some, there are absolutely exceptions to this. I'm talking very, very generally, because there are some things on there that really make me laugh.
Yeah.
There are some jokes that really do get me, and I'm not above it. I don't think I'm better than this thing. Just not my personal preference in flavor.
Yeah. And I think that's completely fair to say that of like, I think that, Drag Race doesn't do it for you. But understanding that it has such a huge influence and is, I think it is kind of like a bit, and the other thing as well on the other side of it is that it has brought a lot of acceptance too,
Oh, massively. I was about to get onto this in that it introduces subjects and topics in a way that's very approachable for people who are never gonna meet a drag queen
Yeah.
or a trans person or anything that does mess with gender in that way.
Yeah.
It makes that conversation easier to have with your family because you have a point of connection to it now. A lot of people have said, like, RuPaul being on television is such a big deal at the time because he was the first drag queen to ever have his own national talk show.
Yep.
Which is nuts. Especially as a black man as
Yeah.
well. Like, the influence is enormous.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it has brought drag to be a mainstream art form.
Absolutely.
It's not like a lot of those other things like ballroom or Vogue's a bad example, but like a lot of that
But
queer
even, like,
subculture is not as prominent as
we talk about Vogue, and like we said about it in the Madonna episode of like, you know, it's more mainstream now, but she doesn't actually Vogue in that video. It's not, you know, that's...
like I said, a zesty Macarena.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for me personally, I think Drag Race is such an incredible platform that doesn't always utilize what it has, and that is because of RuPaul's preferences in performance.
You could almost say it's kind of like less than the sum of its parts, in
Yes.
your opinion. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Absolutely. But RuPaul actually does make a lot of comparisons to when he started off doing drag to like the early punk scene.
Where he had like punk bands and stuff, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like he was part of them. So yeah.
It wasn't.
Well, you know.
They're like punk adjacent.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of that, and I think they start honestly to end in like the same place because we ended up having Johnny Rotten do a butter advert, and now RuPaul does Beverly Hills sponsorship.
Yeah.
It is that kind of, these things get older and they get softer.
Yeah.
A lot of the time as well. So they are 17 seasons of Drag Race.
Yeah, there's a lot of seasons of Drag Race.
And like, it will always forever now bind his name to that art form.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I've heard people say RuPaul when they mean a drag performer.
I think it's very funny because you said about doing the research on this, and you went on Wikipedia and looked up about Drag Race, and it made the point of being like that Drag Race is actually a pun. Like,
I always thought that was really obvious,
but
because it's a car theme.
But I've had conversations with people who just think that that's what drag is. Drag Race is drag. Like,
no.
No.
And also, drag shows aren't all called drag races.
Yeah, that's what they think. They think it's all called Drag Race. Like, if you do any kind of performance, it's Drag Race.
Which is so interesting because, again, it's very, very similar to the Walt Disney Happiest Place on Earth thing. By tying your name to that idea,
Yeah.
makes you kind of one in the same in the long term. But the question is, Jarred, is RuPaul an icon?
Yeah, I think so. I absolutely...
She's not up for elimination? Or...
No. Sashay away. Yeah, Shantae, you stay, because I think that, RuPaul is definitely an icon. I think just like the influence of putting yourself out there and kind of being the face of an artistic movement in and of itself is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Sort of a little bit in the same way that people will go, oh, Joe Rogan podcast. Like, it's, you know.
They are so connected that you don't have one without the other. Yeah.
And it's that weird thing of like people, and I'm not saying that Joe Rogan and RuPaul are the same in any way whatsoever, but
both bold.
Both bold. And both love big, sweaty men. But one likes it in UFC and the other, you know, likes it elsewhere. And that's fine. But like, you know, people don't associate Joe Rogan with being a comedian and actor.
Yeah.
They just go, oh, podcast
Joe Rogan, yeah.
People don't really associate RuPaul with music or modeling.
Not
it's
not
like,
in the not in now. I think in the 90s you would.
Yeah. But like most people just go, oh yeah, RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, you know, they don't really think about the career beforehand. It's like, yeah, that's just what they do. Like they, you know, he just does Drag Race. So, you know, being able to be so heavily linked with an art form to be the face of that thing.
Yeah, and it's not even kind of a debate. He is the most commercially successful drag queen in the USA.
Yeah, I don't even think it's close. I don't even think, you know.
Like, and even beyond that, like, how many other drag queens can you just name off the top of your head?
are not like through. I mean, there's a few that I could name, but it's because of Drag Race.
And the only ones I can think of are like old British ones. Like I said, Lily Savage.
Lily Savage, yeah.
There's one for the kids. Enjoy that.
I mean, we are in Liverpool, so, you know.
You go down to the Albert Dock, you can see a jelly bean mosaic of Paul O'Grady.
And it's
gone a bit mouldy in the corner. It's awful.
The colours have gone a bit weird and they're all like brown now, so it's not the best.
Oh, there's one of the Beatles as well, and Ringo's eyes starting to go.
But yeah, no, I think it's absolutely an icon. What lesson would I take away from it? Well, the first lesson I'd take away is that
work.
If you haven't already, please follow us on. Promote yourself. That's the thing. Promote yourself.
How to be an icon is everything.
Yeah, promote yourself is the thing that I would take away. That wasn't just a cheap plug, but also if you haven't already, please do follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your podcast platform of choice is, and on social media, and subscribe to our Patreon, where we'll be doing a fun little post show after this, where we'll talk about our annoying neighbors and how we come up with our fun reads for one another. But yeah, no, I think promote yourself. I think, and work it, girl.
Make things.
Do your thing on the runway. Work, cover girl. Work it, girl.
We also, one thing we've never come across actually in this show is a real icon status that we haven't addressed yet.
Ooh, okay.
RuPaul has had a bug named after them. In 2020, a species of Australian soldier fly named the Ampola RuPaul, in reference to its costume of shiny metallic rainbow colors.
Well, that's fun.
That's so cool. That makes you an icon, having a bug named after you.
I thought Soldier Fly was the person who sang Crank That,
Oh.
but sold that game console.
Oh yeah, the soldier boy. But no, 100%. Like, I think in order to become famous, you have to know that you're famous. You know,
You're born with it, you know?
Yeah, you have to have that, just like doing it, being famous. Keep making stuff, just do it. Like, just keep producing things. Because again, a lot of the people we see just keep making stuff.
Yeah.
I am going to finish though with a quote from the book,
Okay.
which you'll really, really like.
All right.
I acted as though I was already famous. After all, it was self-evident I was a star. The psychic had predicted it. And what do stars do? They create projects for themselves. Hollywood isn't calling? Do it yourself. Start a band, produce films you can star in, design your own clothes, write your own books, create your own merchandise, build your own empire, become your own icon.
Well, there we go.
I was so happy when I read that.
Well, I think that ends this episode off very, very nicely. Like I say, because, you know, we've got to follow the rules and, like, promote ourselves. Like I say, please, 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 leave us a review. Leave us a comment down below. Who's your favorite drag queen of all time? Give
me some good recommendations. Like, let me like get into this.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I say, if you please subscribe to our Patreon, it is completely free. We will have an episode of the post show coming up right after this, so you can listen along and be like, "Oh, fun times!" We're gonna have a little chat about our experiences recording this fun episode. It's kind of gonna be a bit like our extras and amendments, but kind of a bit more like in the moment.
Little looser, a
little more fun. But thank you very much for listening. Please join us next week. We will have another icon, a comedic legend. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's a real good one. I'm looking forward to it a lot. Thank you very much, Donna, for this wonderful episode.
Pleasure,
as
always. Thank you so much for having me.
And drag home race safe, y'all. What?
Sashay away. That was awful.
Yeah, that was.
A little